Y'all ready for this?
Welcome to the RPO Show. I'm Hunter McNeeley. I'm here with Dylan, Fadden, Ralph, who is filling in for Connor, and Dobbs. We got headlines, as always. We got QB competitions, betting segments, fantasy one-on-one, crazy stat of the week. We got a big show planned for you. So, Dylan, why don't you take us through the headlines?
All right, so first up, we got Malik Hooker to the Cowboys. A number is yet to be announced, but boys, how do we feel about this?
Malik Hooker to the Cowboys. Come on, they're shoring up that secondary, dog. I've been hearing a lot of positive things about Micah Parsons down there, how they're going to be using him on the edge, just around like the middle coverage of the field, all that kind of good stuff. But Malik Hooker's been a dog. He's super young. He has a lot of room of improvement. I know that Dobbs is like a big safeties guy because I stay ball hawking him in Madden. But how do you feel about Hooker, Dobbs? Is he one of your like top 10, top 12 safeties in the league? Where do you fall on him?
I'd say like top 15 guy for sure. It's just more like right now the concern was definitely like, can you stay healthy? I'm sure Cowboys fans thinking the same thing. I'll be interested. Like I'll definitely be really interested to see how much the figure is, how much he's getting paid for this. Cause I wonder what his value is now with, like his injury history. Cause I don't think it's been announced yet. So that's definitely something for us to keep an eye on.
I love this personally because if he can stay healthy, he's easily one of the best safeties in the league. And he's shown that early on in his career in Indy. But again, it was just the injuries that really plagued him. And then real quick, Micah Parsons, Ralph, he's going to be an absolute stud. I love how they're using him kind of as like a hybrid. Like they'll throw him in the middle, or at least that's what they're planning on doing, right? And then they'll have him on the edge too.
So basically, you're telling me he's Dante Hightower 2.0? Is that what you're telling me? The most underrated linebacker in history,
bro.
I'll take advantage of every opportunity I have.
Bro, Dante Hightower is an absolute dog. Absolute dog.
Ralph is. I mean,
he's the advantage of Belichick, right? But
yeah. Dobbs has been preaching this for a minute.
Most underrated, underappreciated player of our era, 1,000%.
All right, we're gonna dive into the quarterback competitions now. First off, we're going out to San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan has reassured us that it is not a competition, actually, and Jimmy G is the starter. Do we think this is the right move? Does Trey Lance need a full year?
Yeah, take it. The fuck? Bro, like what? Like the dude threw less passes than Trubisky. Come on, bro. Like
significantly less.
But here, you know what, bro? That's coach speak too. Because if Trey Lance came out in warmups and was fucking dogging Jimmy Garoppolo, they're not gonna not start him. Like, come on, bro.
Well, this reminds me of Kansas City a couple of years ago where, like, all we ever heard the entire season wasn't about Alex Smith. It was about how good Pat was in practices and stuff like that with the second unit, just slinging it all over the field. We haven't really heard anything like that with Trey quite yet. So, Jimmy, it's an inevitability at this point what time he's going to get hurt during the season, probably like week 3 or 4 even. I think Trey steps in there, but, it just opens up so much of their offense if they can actually play Trey because Shanahan, he had the RG3 experiment, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, he wants to play quarterback from the sideline, so Jimmy G's what'll get it done there. But I like Jimmy G. I don't know where you guys stand on him still. I think he's still a good pocket presence. I mean, he got them to a fucking Super Bowl 2 years ago. But yeah, like you said, Hunter, Trey is like throwing like 75 balls like in the last
high school,
2 years.
Including high school.
It's absurd. It is absurd how little he's ever thrown the ball.
It's a figure under 600. That's what it's literally insane. Like
bro, it's not even triple digits, I don't think.
Oh no, it's definitely like triple digits, but it's like I remember seeing it. It's like significantly like way less than most people though. Like I was gonna say, he probably is for a top 3 pick. He probably has the least passes thrown ever for being like a top 3 quarterback pick.
Definitely.
Well, I think that's
probably like 100%.
I think that speaks to it too, right? Like he is a project, and no one's really debating that. Like they know that he needs the time. They know that given his lack of experience in college football. And not to mention, like he ran a lot in college too. Like that was a big part of what he did too. So like the throwing's gonna come. We already know he's a freak athlete. He's super athletic, but it's just the throwing that needs to get there, really.
Who does he remind you guys of? Who does he remind you of? Because Wow. Oh my God. You're out on him this quick.
bust,
Let him get a
bro. He's
snap
a
in the
bust.
preseason first, dog.
Did he say Trubisky?
Yeah, he
He's a
did. He
bust.
did.
Who does he
Bro,
honestly, bro?
I'm not drafting a quarterback who fucking. Oh my God, bro. I don't understand.
You know what his peak? You know what he can look like at his peak? He can like literally he can look very similar to Cam Newton. That's like that's what they want out of him 100%. They want like that's definitely that's the goal. Kyle Shanahan's like if I can get a career like prime Cam Newton, I can get a Super Bowl out of him. And I think that's what and to answer the question, I feel like I'm all in. If I was a 49er fan, I'd be happy he's not starting this year. Like you guys were saying, under 600 passes in his like college and high school career. He obviously, I mean, that's literally like he hasn't experienced that many plays, that many different schemes. It's going to take time. And Kyle Shanahan's system is very, very complex. But I think that in due time, if they do things right, he's going to look really good. So I'm all in. If I was a Niners fan on him sitting the year,
I'm going to be completely honest.
Thinking.
I had no idea Trey Lance was 6'4". Like I had no idea. I kind of just assumed he was like 6'1".
No, I knew he was big.
I think that does like
doesn't look big. He doesn't have like a huge presence, but I think Shanahan talked about it. Like the reason that he went with him was like his processing was insane. Like when they brought him in and actually did the interview and everything like that, like they were really impressed with he's the youngest quarterback in this class. They're really impressed with his processing. Obviously, you guys know where I stand with this quarterback class. I still think Justin was far and away the second best quarterback, if not the best. But like when I think of these two players, I think they're really similar. I just think Justin's further along his development right now and has a higher ceiling. But I think of both of them. I think Cam Newton's a good one, Dobbs, but I also think of like Donovan McNabb, just because like they have like the ability to be like girthy, a little bit more athletic than you anticipate from somebody that is 6'4", and they're definitely going to be threats at the goal line, both of them. So I think that I like Lance. I don't love him. Like I love Justin with all my fucking heart and soul. I wouldn't buy a jersey if I was a Niners fan because who knows what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, he has the benefit of the best offensive play caller in the league, not named Sean McVay or Andy Reid. Like he has Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan's going to get the most out of him.
Or Sean Payton.
Or Sean Payton or Nagy. Fuck all y'all. But yeah, I mean, he has Shanahan at the end of the day, and it isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Jimmy G's going to get hurt. It's just going to happen. And we're not going to have to watch Nick Mullins or fucking CJ Beathard back up anymore. We're going to get to watch Trey Lance.
All right. We're going to move on to the Bears. And Matt Nagy has also reassured us that it's Andy Dalton's starting job week 1. But I do think, personally, we will see Justin in the near future after week 1. What do you guys think? How do you think this will unfold?
Man, oh man. Nagy should just shut the fuck up, bro. Enough of this bullshit, bro.
God.
I'm so sick of this, bro. What the fuck is he learning sitting behind him in games, bro?
Oh, not this thing again.
Bro.
Bro, he's going against literally if he starts week 1, he's playing 2 first ballot Hall of Fame defenders. He's
good. Then the rest of the competition should be easy.
He's playing the two best players at their position that's gonna be this decade. Literally, he's playing the all pros, all decaders. That is not what you want his first game. I promise. Jalen Ramsey literally be licking his fucking chops, bro. Literally licking his lips.
Different.
No.
They wouldn't have traded up to draft him.
I love Justin Fields, but bro,
he's different.
But you see, Jalen Ramsey is going to be licking his chops. But Ramsey's going to be licking his chops even if it's Dalton playing quarterback. So I think that this is where Nagy has gone wrong.
He's not licking his chops at Mooney.
He should exactly, but he shouldn't have come out and said that there is a starter. He should say that there is a competition. He should not deem somebody the starter this early. We are barely we just started training camp. We aren't even through the preseason. It is stupid to have a preconceived notion about who is going to be the starter and like just announcing to the world like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to be stubborn about it. Even if Fields outplays him as the MVP of the preseason.
What if Nagy's playing 4D chess and he said that to hype up Justin Fields and Justin Fields was the starter all along?
What if
because he knows Justin likes to be on the underdog.
I don't know. I don't know if I could give Matt Nagy that much credit, but I do think Justin Fields wouldn't be deterred by that. Like Justin Fields, if he heard Andy Dalton's for sure the starter week 1, I think that motivates Justin Fields the type of dude to get mad as fuck at that. and then grind even harder too. So I do agree with that, Hunter. But I don't know if we can give negative.
I'm gonna make you guys so upset. But Hunter, you lined up my punchline way too.
Matt Nagy looks like Megamind.
He's gotta be thinking Justin Fields is the same guy. Justin Fields is the same guy that said no to a competition with Jake Fromm. I just had to make
that was.
He did.
He did, and look where Jake Fromm's at, and look where Justin Fields is at. Jake Fromm was talking about getting silencers or some shit on his gun.
No, dude, that was fun. We're not talking about. I'm not talking about Jake Fromm. I'm just bringing up points. I'm just bringing up little points. But
can we bring up the fact that the Big Ten would not have played football this year if it wasn't for Justin Fields?
Let's go. They weren't doing that for Jake Fromm. They were not doing that. No,
that was the marginal point. What I really wanted to say
was playing regardless.
Ralph, I think you're hitting at something, Ralph. I think the real problem is just that Nagy is horrible with talking to the media, because we were literally just saying last week, you said what kind of coach comes and has a preconceived notion of who's playing their starting quarterback and tells everyone. The same coach who tells the media that he's going to run his running back, he's going to for the specific number of carries, he's going to run his running back each game so that every coach can game plan for it. Bro, man, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not in on Nagy at all. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but reality is reality, bro. I can see this time next season, it'll be like, is the Bears replacement coach? Do we have faith in him? That's gonna be like one of our headlines.
Well, the thing is I don't love Nagy. Like, I'm rather indifferent on him. But at the end of the day, he's gotten us to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. I do not hate him as much as everyone. I get frustrations with him on his 3rd and 8 calls where he runs a halfback draw and shit like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, the dude gets us to the playoffs. We overperform with Mitchell Trubisky at our quarterback. So I think when you actually give him a competent quarterback like Fields, who's going to be more than competent, I think he's going to be an all-pro for years to come, that he's going to succeed. He's another guy who has an eye for talent, right? Like, he was the one who was like the main voice in the Chiefs front office saying, we got to get Mahomes. We got to get Mahomes. Yeah. This dude can fucking sling it. And I think he sees a lot of a lot of Mahomes in Justin rather. But do you guys want to, we can't talk about the Bears all fucking day.
I was saying we need to move on because
we're only going to talk about the Bears.
The last like 6 episodes, we've just been regurgitating some of this Bears talk. So we're going to go on to the Broncos. Early on, we know they got Teddy Bridgewater, but Drew Lock has been getting first team reps right off the bat. Do you think they should roll with Drew Lock first, or should they throw Teddy in? To me, I kind of see it as like, I don't want to say seniority because obviously Teddy's older, but Drew Lock's been with the team longer. I just think it makes sense that he gets the first team reps as of right now.
Yeah, he has more familiarity with wide receivers, right? But I don't know. I think Teddy is we talked about this briefly on our call last night, but Vic Fangio is, a defensive-minded coach. Obviously, he's going to be about protecting the ball. I don't know if there's anybody worse in the league at protecting the ball than Drew Lock. So I think he gets the starts probably week 1 and week 2. And once he has 5 interceptions through, 65 different passes or whatever it is, like 1 in every 13 passes is a fucking pick. That's when Teddy comes in. And I like Teddy. I actually do love Teddy. I thought he was good in Carolina last year. They also outperformed their expectations. Everybody was saying they were going to get the number 1 pick. If you guys don't remember, they were in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes, all of this kind of stuff at the beginning of the season, especially when CMC went out. So I like Teddy. I think he's a good fit in Denver. Obviously, Denver fans are pissed that they didn't get A-Rod or anything like that. We're pissed that they didn't get Aaron. I think Teddy's a really, really good just starting quarterback that can keep you at a consistent pace.
Well, I think that's even more important too for a team like the Broncos with playmakers on defense too. Like, we know their defense is good. They have guys like that. Drew Lock is doing them a disservice by turning over the ball. And Teddy is like not the most, but one of the most ideal quarterbacks for this situation because you know what you're getting. He's able to lead an offense, and he doesn't turn over the ball that much either. So I actually like Teddy here.
I mean, Teddy, yeah. I mean, I said this before. I said this in my armchair GM. Drew Lock is – who the fuck is calling about Drew Lock?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this.
Not me. I'm not.
Right now, no one – no, I agree. Right now, I'm not calling out Drew Lock. Nobody is. But starting Drew Lock – I feel like this kind of is like the scenario in their head. Start Drew Lock, and he actually has a boom year. You get your investment from the draft pick. You still have a rookie contract for another year. And he can do, obviously, we know when he's playing good, he has a better intangible skill set than Teddy Bridgewater. It's just a fact. He can throw on the run way better. He has a way with a stronger arm. So little things like that, right? Teddy Bridgewater, like you said, way smarter protecting the ball. So best case scenario, it's like you play Teddy. Best case, you are like a wild card playoff team, and then it's like, do you take Teddy's taking you to the promised land? Probably not. There's probably no future with Teddy. Whereas like at least there's maybe a future with Drew, and then Teddy's just a good security blanket. That's like how I'm seeing it. So it's like more like a boomer or bust value. You get some value potentially out of Drew.
The thing with Denver is they're not really invested in either of these players. Like, what pick was Drew Lock? Like a third or fourth, even fifth round pick? I don't recall. And then they traded a 6th round pick to get Teddy. So like they really don't have a lot invested in either of these quarterbacks. So they're not going to break any hearts with whichever way they go. Like Ferriman is not going to be disappointed with whoever the starter is. They're just they have to have a contingency plan moving forward as to like what they're going to do with that position. But they have a playoff roster at the very least. Like I think we all love Judy. We all love Sutton. We all like Fant, and then we really like that defense, especially if Chubb and Miller can stay healthy. So, they're going to be competitive at the very least. I just don't know if they'll be as competitive with Locke.
I agree. I think Teddy's just the safer play.
Definitely.
All right, we're going to move on to New England with the Patriots, and this is one of the more unique quarterback battles because
this is fascinating. This is fascinating.
Battle,
really
bro.
fascinating.
This is not a battle.
I just think it's interesting. But so we have Cam Newton, the vet, the guy that was in his prime before. He kind of sucked last year, couldn't really throw the football. And we got go ahead, Dobbs. Kinda.
We saw what happened in the
sucked.
debate when we tried to argue for Cam Newton.
Yeah, well,
okay.
I remember that.
Well, I wasn't a part of that debate, but I just want to say this. I'm not backing either of them strongly. I don't have strong feelings, but I think this is a fascinating battle because it's essentially two philosophies of quarterbacks going against one another. It is your big pocket presence quarterback who has agile feet. But with Mac, I mean, we've seen like how Alabama quarterbacks have fared in the NFL. Like, at Alabama, they have the benefit of playing with the best receivers in the fucking country every single year. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, you name it. They're always playing with guys that can get elite separation every single time. New England is different. They do not have elite separation at wide receiver. They have a couple of good tight ends, right? They improve the receiver room a little bit. But it's just different in the NFL. And I like Mac. I thought he was a good pick. I thought he fell where he should have in that 10 to 20 range at 15 with New England. I don't love Cam anymore, obviously. I mean, we saw him throw into the fucking dirt every single goddamn game last year.
It was at the receiver's feet every single time.
But to be respectful, like I think some of the times he was making business decisions because he was trying. If he would have forced it into a tight window, I don't think the receivers would have been able to make the catch. Like N'Keal Harry is just not a good receiver, right? Like Damiere Byrd's not a great receiver. So I don't really trust like their receiving room as much as I distrust Cam Newton, if that makes sense. Like, I still think Cam is a viable option at quarterback. Like I don't think he's a career backup from this point on. I think that if he's in the right situation, if you put him in the right places, he can play. Now I want to propose this to you guys because my high school, Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines, Iowa, won 6 straight football championships in high school. Okay. We had 3 of those years where we had dual quarterbacks. So my senior year, one of my best friends, Kurt Walding, played quarterback with JT Brown. Kurt was the bruiser. Kurt was the guy who would scramble. He's the goal line quarterback.
Oh my God, I invented this
everything,
formation.
Hunter, everything comes full circle. Everything
comes
full circle.
Wait, no, I think you might be misunderstanding though, Hunter. I think that he means that they subbed like one in and one out.
Oh, did you sub them in and out, Ralph?
Yeah, correct. So
okay.
Yeah, no, he's not. No. Yeah, Hunter, don't unveil our fucking plans like that, bro. You almost foiled us.
Are you guys suggesting about playing 2 quarterbacks at once?
Dude, it's in progress.
A long time.
It's called the double barrel, and you run it out of the shotgun.
Oh my God! So that's something that New Orleans could actually. I guess New Orleans and New England could both run that because they have running quarterbacks back there. But I just think it's fascinating, right? Because like it is literally a battle of 2 different philosophies. Like I don't know who's going to win the competition. I honestly don't care. I'll watch New England regardless. I think they're going to be a fascinating team to watch.
Can I throw some? I just have to say this too. I love Mac Jones coming out, and I still do. The only thing with Mac Jones is that he had to go to the ideal situation for him. And to me, that was either San Francisco with Shanahan. He would fit in well with that offense. Or the other one, too, was New England for me. And I think that he can thrive in this offense. I just don't know if it'll be right out the gate. Like, I think for him, he would also benefit sitting a little bit. And to your point, too, Ralph, absolutely they should do something like that. If Mac does prove to be the better passing quarterback, let him play. But also there are definitely scenarios where Cam Newton, 3rd and goal on the goal line, throw him in there, do a quarterback run with him. I guarantee you he's getting in the end zone. Like he's that type of dude. So I do think that is an option.
I'm going to be honest. Like I keep saying this, so I'm not even going to go on another rant about it. I think this is the Patriots, the most underrated team in football. And I think that Mac Jones is going into like literally the most ideal situation I can ever think of, like ever for a rookie quarterback. He's going to, we know, a fantastic offensive coordinator, the greatest head coach of all time, in a system where they finally again have two really good tight ends, which is when the offense is always thriving. So they're going to have that. Like they signed 3 receivers this offseason. They had 3 linemen back they didn't have last year due to injuries or COVID. The Patriots are going to be good. And Ralph, like you said, you're right. Alabama quarterbacks track record in the NFL, shit, because they always go from best scenario in college to the bottom tier, most garbage franchise in the league. But now, best college, straight to the best franchise in the history of the sport. We haven't seen anything like it before, but necessarily it's going to be really cool to watch. Like, I think the Patriots are going to be really interesting. I can see Mac Jones seamlessly transitioning to a Pro Bowl quarterback. I've said this on record. I'll say it again. He's going into literally the best situation I can think of. It's absolutely absurd.
2 quick things really quick. I think you're right. Like, Bama to New England. I think there's a pipeline there, like we mentioned with Hightower a little bit earlier. I love the idea of Belichick and Saban playing footsie while they talk about, like, what player will fit in New England. Who are New England's receivers? I know it's Aguilar, Henry, and Jonnu Smith, obviously, but who are the other 2 wideouts that they have that are really going to get playing time this year?
Kendrick Bourne.
And then who's the receiver they kept that they liked from last year?
Oh, wait, hold up. I have it up right here. Oh, Jacoby Myers?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Listen, guys.
It was like I was big on Jacoby.
Listen. Jacoby Myers, I don't know. I watched him coming out of NC State, and then even in the preseason, he was dogging dudes. Like, he fit into that Edelman role where he was getting, like, 10 targets a game, and he was converting 8 catches out of it. So he looked phenomenal, and there were some games last year where he looked nice, so keep an eye out for him.
Gunnar Olszewski breakout season 2 ?
Oh, no.
Jet sweep king. All right, let's move on to New Orleans. We got to talk about Dobbs this team. One. All right, I honestly want to know where Dobbs stands on this, but as you guys know, LASIK Jameis Stan over here. I've loved Jameis ever since, Jabu at Florida State. That's my guy. I always think he's been underappreciated. One of very few quarterbacks in NFL history to throw for 5,000 yards, despite throwing 30 interceptions, which is fucking ridiculous when you really think about it. Now, a lot of them were pick sixes, so he's getting the ball back fast. I actually have a shirt that says 30 for 30, and it's just Jameis on it. It's really fun. I should have worn it for this. But yeah, no. I think he wins the competition. I think Sean is obviously one of the best offensive minds we've ever had in this game. I like the idea of having Alvin Kamara on my fantasy team and not having Taysom Hill throw fucking darts to him on halfback screens like he did last year. There was nothing more frustrating last year than having Alvin Kamara on my team go from having Drew Brees at quarterback where he just throw perfect touch passes right in the breadbasket to Taysom Hill literally throwing screens 125 miles an hour at his fucking face mask. It was disgusting. But Dobbs, you're a Saints fan. Are you invested in Jameis? Do you think that he can be the quarterback for you guys for the next 8 or 9 years?
Bro, all right, quick spiel. So when Drew, I said this before, I think, but when Drew came to New Orleans, there was no expectation. It was literally he had everything to lose but the organization had everything to gain. They didn't owe him anything. He's coming to a position just like Jameis, where he has everything to prove, and he has an opportunity with one of the greatest offensive coaches of all time. And Jameis is literally going into that exact same kind of opportunity right now, where he's unproven. It's a 50-50. It's kind of like it'll either work out or it won't. And we as an organization, not we, but the Saints as an organization have everything to gain by starting Jameis and basically nothing to gain by starting Taysom. Because let's say unless Taysom literally takes us and wins us the Super Bowl. Because even if we start Taysom, has a great year, want to keep him, right? Well, then he's on track for like making $40 million over the next 5 seasons, which we're not doing. Like, that's
he's not
viable.
Restructuring that shit.
That's not viable. And exactly. And he's not restructuring that shit. Whereas Jameis, we play him and he's great. We still don't even have a figure for next season. Things can be organized. It's not like Taysom, it's already set. Like, we're fucked financially damn near if he has a great season. And if we don't win the Super Bowl, then it's like, well, and if you don't resign him, it's like we have nothing to gain. I feel like with Jameis, there's like such a big opportunity for like to build in the future. And I love Taysom, but his contract and if we're being honest, the reality of the situation is looking tough after this season for Taysom unless he's willing to take money to stay with the Saints. It'll be weird to see how it all develops. Unless he
Okay,
really
so
just proves me wrong, and you know.
this is for Dylan and Hunter. We just talked about a situational quarterback system with New England where you can put in Cam in certain situations, and now here you can put in Taysom in certain situations. What is the better quarterback backfield, Jameis and Taysom or Cam and Mac? Which quarterback duo would you rather have at your disposal if you were an OC in the NFL?
If we're doing
Jameis and
strictly off,
Taysom,
yeah,
100%.
same. If we're doing strictly off duo, yeah, because you don't have a duo in New England. You have one that can take a snap and the other that can throw the ball. Like, what the fuck?
No, I just think Jameis is obviously the better quarterback than Mac. And when it comes down to functionality, utility guy, like Taysom is so much better than like Cam Newton because he can line up a receiver, running back, do whatever. I also just want to add one piece on the Taysom versus Jameis debate. To me, it comes down to, yes, Taysom has shown that he can win football games. Sean Payton has shown that he can do it with Taysom. But it really comes down to me, late in games, you're in the playoffs, whatever it is, like it's a must-win game. Fourth quarter, you have the ball. It's like third and long, 3rd and 15. I feel more comfortable with Jameis back there throwing the football than Taysom. Like, I think Taysom is just safe football. They're able to run it. They grind it out. They grind out wins like that. But if they find themselves down in a game, I just don't know if Taysom can get the job done through there, personally.
Yeah, I feel like the defense always has to show up.
True. No, it does coincide with Taysom playing quarterback too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was our quarterback competition. We're going to run through these last ones since that took a little bit longer. But Chandler Jones trade, he was not happy with his contract and he requested a trade. Where do you want to see him go this year?
Put him back in New England.
I've heard some hype around that.
Yeah,
obviously I want to see him on the Bears. I'm a fucking Bears fan. He's an unbelievable defender, one of the 25 best defenders in the entire league. But yeah, New England. I want to see him on a title contender, obviously, like in New England, a Green Bay, even like, you know, Rodgers has been making all of these things. Obviously, Hunter, I saw the fucking face. I don't want him on Green Bay because I want Chicago to beat Green Bay, right? But I like Chandler Jones. I've always liked to sell his play, the way he carries himself, all that kind of stuff. I want to see him go to a contender, maybe even the Chargers, just something like that to help them on the edge, especially if, you know, they're questionable. Where's Melvin Ingram at right now? Is he
Pittsburgh?
He went to the.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in Pittsburgh now. But yeah, that'd be a great replacement for him, and you have Joey on the other side too.
That would be electric. I like that. I'm down with the Chargers too.
So it depends for me, you know, it depends how this kind of a project here, but it depends how long you guys or, you know, anybody that would be making this trade would think that he still has left in the tank. But, you know, a team like the Jaguars with all the cap they have, you're going to move for him, start building the deep. I mean, the Super Bowl window is really, the ideal Super Bowl windows are going to be
quarterback contract
4 to 5 years. So if you get Chandler Jones right now and you think he can still give you 3-4 years of value, I think the Jaguars and they have a lot of, like, they can do it. Like the Jaguars would definitely have the assets to get it done with draft capital and everything like that. So
I actually love that one too, Dobbs. I think that's a sneaky good play for like the next 4 to 5 years, like you said, depending on how long Chandler Jones can stay that effective.
He's a game wrecker, like Ralph said, definitely top 25 defender in the league. And he's good wherever he goes. He's shown us that he's not like I don't mean to say a typical Patriot where all pro where they leave and then they're, you know, I mean, they lose value a lot of time. He's not like he left New England and has gained value. So, you know, and that's very rare to see. So I think he's a gamer anywhere he goes.
All right, we're going to move on to the players that reported to camp real quick to rattle off some names. Yes, Xavier Howard has requested a trade officially, but he did show up to camp, so that is notable. Jamal Adams is also planning on reporting to camp despite not getting the contract that he wanted, so that is something to monitor. And, of course, Aaron Rodgers showed up finally. He got a restructured deal that gives him the power after this year. They bumped up some of the salary to this year, too. A couple other things that go inside with that. Davante Adams reopened up contract talks because Rodgers went back. I honestly think those are heavily linked. I think Davante Adams was kind of helping out Rodgers, playing that power card there. And then this just broke too about 30 minutes ago. Randall Cobb was traded back to the Packers for a 6th round pick, I believe. I will check.
RIP my Amari Rodgers stock just went down the fucking drain.
Yep.
Who?
Well, real quick,
Amari
Rodgers,
Rodgers.
receiver from Clemson, the after there.
Oh.
No, Ralph. Honestly, I feel like don't sleep on Amari Rodgers.
I was thinking,
Randall Cobb.
I was thinking of the other team that traded Cobb. My bad. I just cut everyone off. Sorry.
Dobbs, what are you saying?
I feel like it's worth noting Devontae Adams also said he's not going to negotiate with the Packers unless they make him the highest paid receiver in football, which is also really interesting because if Aaron Rodgers gets what he wants, and so, I mean, like, and, you know, in some way, somehow, I mean, because at this point, I don't even know who to believe or what to believe with this whole situation. Like, if he's like, he said it's only one more year, but like, who the fuck knows? I mean, it was originally, it was sure thing. All these reporters, it was a sure thing. He's not coming back for sure. So who the hell knows? I mean, at this point, I'm not taking any of it like for certain. So let's say he does resign again next year. Now that he has all the leverage and signs like a 2-year deal for a shit ton of money, and Devontae Adams is also the highest paid receiver. That's like 50% of their cap right there. So I don't like it. It's definitely the Packers are setting themselves up for a hell of a future after the last dance, whatever the fuck's going on, dude. It's literally like, what the fuck is going on? He was literally for sure. There's no way he's coming back. He's done. He's done. Everybody like literally. So,
you know, maybe they should just get a fucking owner. Right? Like how much of these situations could have been resolved if they just had somebody that actually owned the fucking team and not just a bunch of people that stuff cheese curds down their goddamn face. They hop on Bucks bandwagons because they actually don't give a shit about basketball. They just like to root for them when they're good. Like what the fuck, dude? Like any of us could get a stake in the Packers if we just bought season tickets like 15 years down the line.
That's the number one thing that pisses me off about like the Packers like owners. They just like always throw that out there. Like, yeah, I'm a part owner. It's like,
yeah,
cool. That means literally nothing.
What would you get if you sold your stock? If you sold like your stake right now?
You have to like think about it though, bro. Like they live in Green Bay. Like that's all they have to talk about. That's what their life is.
They can flex on
this segment, going in the Packers Reddit and posting it, and just they're gonna get so mad.
They can flex on us. They're the only fan base that can own season tickets and be like, I'm a Super Bowl champion. Fuck you. Literally the only person they can do. And I don't want that. They'd be right. They literally would technically be a Super Bowl champion. And I'd be like, fuck.
But do they get rings?
Damn, you're right. No, but like at least
it ain't a championship. No.
There's like
the physical evidence.
Not like I'm just saying they are the only fan base that literally can on a legal basis.
That's like signing a phone deal but not getting a phone. You're paying to use their shit, but you don't even have a phone to use it with. But a phone isn't as cool as being
a Super Bowl champion. So like now it's
still detrimental to whatever you did
apples and oranges. I don't know. I mean, I'll be like a tactical Super Bowl champion for like $500 a year. Like,
all right. The real question is now, if the Saints had something like that, would Dobbs be a part owner?
Well, dude, I'm going to be a part owner. So I'm going to be a Saints season tickets holder the second I can afford it when I can. So if you could, that'd feel like a nice little bonus if I, you know what I mean? If I could be a Super Bowl champion as well.
Yeah, once every 20 years, right? Yeah, that's the thing is, you know, Green Bay is these guys pay for that stuff, but they don't have a ring, they don't have a trophy since like 2008, right? So it's like
that's what I'm saying.
They
that's like every franchise that's not the Patriots, though, guys. I mean, like, come on,
fuck
what the fuck?
Bro.
You haven't even seen a Super Bowl. What the?
Well, to be fair,
I did see the Super Bowl.
Souls, Dobbs.
I did see the Super Bowl.
To be fair. To be fair,
okay,
for the Packers,
I want to hear it from the fucking
you guys have had
Saints fan.
Lift the trophies. I just want to give you a subtle reminder.
The Packers have literally had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterbacks. No other team can say that, and they only have 2 Super Bowls to show for it. So like,
that's what
I'm saying.
They should have.
All right, we're gonna move on to the gambling segment. This one is gonna be very short, but I love this one. We're doing the exact order of the division finishers on DraftKings. And I'm going to pass this off to Hunter. He has the AFC East and the NFC South.
You guys know how I feel about Buffalo. They're obviously coming in first. And even though I am a Cam Newton hater and I'm lukewarm on Mac Jones, I do think they're going to come in second, strictly because Miami's going to come in third because Tua is a waste of a draft pick. Draft pick. Waste of a draft pick. New York Jets are going to come in fourth. Led the way by Michael Carter. Because Zach Wilson is not doing shit. He's a bust. So moving on to the NFC South, we're going Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina. That's easy. That's not even a fucking question.
I think that's very questionable. I think that's
Why?
super questionable. I'm
Which
selling
one?
New Orleans stock so hard. I'm sorry, Dobbs. I'm in on Atlanta. They got a better quarterback. They have a more potent offense. They actually have a real head coach this time around. They
What
don't
about
have
their
Dan
defense?
Quinn. Their defense, I mean, they're gonna put up points.
See, bro, like you can get by with Jameis. You can prove Jameis has proven that he can get games. He can win games, bro. Like
Brady Jarrett and Deion Jones are both kings, and I will not let anybody speak foully on their name. They have had a lot of injury unluckiness the last couple of years, like whether it's Keanu Neal or something like that. They have, dude. They've had like 6 of their 11 starters.
And it's gonna stop this year because why?
I'm not saying it's going to stop, but I'm just saying that they're going to be a more competent team. And I like
that is
New Orleans,
18% of their defense, bro.
But I don't see the value. I don't see the value in going plus 400 for something like that. Like I just don't see it. Like I think that what would the odds be, Dylan, if we were to swap New Orleans and Atlanta there?
Let me look it up real quick.
New Orleans.
I'll do it right now.
Atlanta.
Because I'm telling you, the reason I did it because it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't not that.
It's like one in every 4 years. Atlanta, like Matt Ryan will just have an MVP season. He'll just fuck around and just be the best fucking player in that division,
bro.
That would be plus 900.
Boom, I'm putting it down.
Okay.
I also think Carolina's getting some disrespect there at number 4.
I don't. They're
I think Carolina could easily finish 3rd.
Sam Darnold's their quarterback.
All right, so I'm responsible for choosing the order of the division finishers in the AFC North and the NFC East. For the AFC North, I'm going to be riding Cleveland. I'm going to ride that run game and Kevin Stefanski and Myles Garrett to the fucking promised land. I think they're going to finish either 2nd or 3rd in the AFC, so I'm going to have them first in that division. I'm going to take Baltimore finishing 2nd. I think this is every year we ask ourselves, is Greg Roman going to improve the passing game type shit? I don't know if they do, but they're still going to be the best rushing team in the entire league. Yeah, I like Bateman. I like Watkins, all that kind of good stuff. 3rd, this might be controversial, but I have Cincinnati finishing over Pittsburgh. I do not like Pittsburgh. I think that they're going to be essentially just a flaccid penis in that division the entire year. I am not going to watch them one single game. I'm going to, whenever Red Zone pops up and then they come on, that's when I'm going to take a shit. But I like Cincinnati. I like the offense. This is the year. This is the make or break year for Zach Taylor. He has a fire under his ass. This is going to be his 3rd year as the head coach there. You got to get something fucking going, Zachary. If you don't, you're going down the shitter. Moving to the NFC East, Washington football team. They're finishing 1st, baby. One of the 3 best defenses in football. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Taylor, Deron Payne, you name it. Those are some motherfucking hitters. The best front 7 in the league. I've got Dallas finishing 2nd. Just a really potent offense. I think that they've shored up a little bit of the defense, and I honestly picked them. I thought about picking them first after the Malik Hooker pick, but I just trust Washington's defense so much. Defense wins championships. I'm excited to watch Dallas's offense this year. 3rd, I have the New York Giants. I'm not really too passionate about them. They showed quite a bit of promise last year defensively. I have no idea what to think of Daniel Jones or whether or not Saquon can stay healthy. I love Kenny Golladay. I've always loved Kenny Golladay. We're going to talk about him later. Spoiler alert. And then 4th, I have the Philadelphia Eagles because that is just a clusterfuck of an organization, despite my love for both Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. But yeah, I mean, it's just really scary territory in Philly right now.
Dobbs, you have the AFC South and the NFC West.
All right, I'll take it away. So for the AFC South, I got the Titans coming in first in that division just because, with all due respect to the Colts, unless Carson Wentz has like a Frank Reich literal reunion at full-blown like expectations we aren't even like they click back on a Philly level back 2017 style shit, 2018 shit, then there's no way that the Colts finished first. I'm sorry. With that said, I got the Colts in 2nd, and then I got the Jaguars 3rd. Because this division is just like, I mean, if the Pittsburgh Steelers are a flat, no, I'm just kidding. Then this division, this division is the Pittsburgh Steelers of divisions. So like
no Viagra saving this.
Yeah, there's no Viagra saving this division. And then no.
The Viagra is Deshaun Watson though. That actually makes it interesting. If he comes back, this division has like 4 quarterbacks that are actually gonna be like moderately.
That's actually interesting.
Who's the 4th quarterback?
I'm excited to watch Tannehill, Wentz, Watson.
No. I love Tannehill.
You're not excited to watch T-Law at all?
Hunter hates Wentz so much.
Is that what you're gonna say, Hunter?
And T-Law.
I'm sorry for.
Oh, you don't like Trevor Lawrence?
He's not everything everyone thinks he is. I'm gonna say
he's not Peyton Manning.
You got to give him a season. You got to give him like a season or 2 first.
That's my
comparison.
That's
what Motherfucker said about Tua. Tua ass sucks.
I think
Tua
him and
is
Peyton
way
Manning are
different, though.
comparable.
Nah, they're the same player.
Sorry for
I'm just
interrupting,
fucking with you.
Dobbs.
I'm just
Sorry for
fucking with you.
derailing this.
Yeah, Dobbs, go ahead, take it away.
And then, so for the NFC West, I'm going Rams first, Seahawks second. It got a little tricky right here, but I'm going 30. I almost said 39ers. Oh, God. Third, I'm going 49ers. And fourth, I'm going Cardinals. And
Best division in football.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a weird scenario where, like, it's a very weird situation where, like, all four of these teams, like, totally could make the playoffs.
First.
Like, it could. Like, you could have both the wildcard teams could be, like, from this division. So,
That'd
you know,
be
like, don't take
wild.
that as a slight Cardinals fans that you're in last. You just happen to play in a legendary division this season.
And who is Cliff Kingsbury? What'd you say that one time?
Hey, Ralph, you heard this before? You know who Cliff Kingsbury is?
Who?
Matt Nagy with a clean cut. That's literally who Cliff Kingsbury is. So,
Bro,
that's also kind of goes to my prediction. I can see the Cardinals also being in that same kind of position the Bears are next year, where it's like, is this replacement going to be a replacement type dude? Like, I can see them totally being in that position.
If
I just
Kingsbury
wanna
gets
say-
fired from Arizona, he's going to go to Cupertino and work for Apple. I think those are the only two jobs that he can have in the world.
That's
Is
so
working
funny.
at Apple as somebody who presents speeches for like the new iPad or iPod Touch, or whatever the fuck, or being an NFL head coach. There's no other option for him.
He looks like he'd be a Verizon worker too.
He's just a clean cut. Funny enough,
Kingsbury side gigs.
I'm in this group me for White Sox fans with like 500 people. Some random kid sent in a picture of him with Cliff Kingsbury at a White Sox game like a week ago. The most
Cliff
random
Kingsbury in
thing I've ever
Chicago.
seen.
If Kingsbury's getting traded here, we're
All right,
trading coaches. We're trading for one with hair.
You
So
can trade for coaches. The Patriots traded for Belichick. Fun fact of the day.
That's crazy as hell.
that is wild. All right, so I have the AFC West and the NFC North. I'm gonna knock out the NFC North, but I don't have odds for it. Obviously, with Aaron Rodgers back, Green Bay is going to finish first, as much as it pains me to say it. Second, I got to go with the Bears. I think they're going to be there. Third,
Detroit
Vikings,
Lions.
obviously. Lions, fourth.
Damn,
No odds for that.
Vikings fans hate you right now.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Bears, Vikings for second place is going to be – it's going to be really close, I think. Like, the Vikings still are a good team. They're just not that – I don't know. Dude, they fluctuate every year, right? So we'll see. We'll see. For the AFC West, obviously my boy Mahomes is going to carry the Chiefs to like a 16 and oh shit, I was going to say 16-1. Yeah, 16-1 finish because there's 17 games this year. The Chargers, I got second. I'm riding the Justin Herbert train. I think this is the year they put it all together. Their roster's phenomenal. They just have not been able to put it together. And no more Anthony Lynn, which is a huge plus. Third, I got the Raiders over the Broncos, and I'm sleeping on the Broncos in fourth this year. I'm sorry.
Okay, tell me this really quick. If I were to essentially gamble on the worst thing in sports, an injury to somebody named Patrick Mahomes or something like that, and I swapped the Chargers and the Chiefs there, because that's plus 900 right there.
That's true.
To get
That is
KC
true.
finishing first. What would I get if I swapped, let's say Chargers and Chiefs right there? What would I get there?
Honestly, not as big of a payout as you would assume. Plus 800.
That's less than what it is right now. This is plus 900.
Wait.
The Chargers are
Okay.
favored
Well,
to win the division.
I tweaked. So that's
Okay.
plus 250. I don't know why I wrote
That
plus
makes more
900
sense.
down.
Damn,
But-
that was better than a century. Holy shit.
That was a good catch,
Yeah.
Ralph.
No, if you could win 10 to win 90, 100 to win 900, yeah, that'd be a fucking steal.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
plus 250, which oddly enough, I don't know. It's hard to guess four teams in order, right? But plus 250 is not big odds there. But
You
no,
could
yeah,
probably
plus
parlay
800.
this shit. That'd probably be crazy odds.
Dude, they didn't let us parlay them though. Remember?
Oh, really?
We tried to do it with something else.
That was lame.
But all right, that is the gambling segment. Passing this over. to
I had the
Hunter.
best value. I had the best value by far. Plus 2,000 for the AFC North. Everybody ride it with me. Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincy, Pittsburgh. Everybody ride it with me. Put $100 down, get 2 racks back. Come on now.
Are you gonna
that is
refund
great
everyone that
value.
places it if they don't win?
If their parents buy solar, then yeah, sure.
Damn.
Ralph's just out here plugging the solar panels. I
Plugging.
respect
You know
it.
it. You know
All
it.
right,
Bang my line.
Hunter, take us to the fantasy segment.
Okay, so for the fantasy segment this week, Ralph is gonna do something a little bit different. Dobbs called it a mini game. I kind of like that. So we're gonna play like a mini game first, and then we'll get into our 2 fantasy questions.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I've been meditating on this a lot recently to like understand like who is undervalued, especially in drafts. For our Burbs Fantasy Football League, we are reluctantly on my part going to be doing a draft instead of an auction. But what we are going to be doing is, people talk about QB1s, wide receiver ones, RB1s all the time. Now, what is that? That is somebody that finishes in the top 10 at their position. So I took players that are outside of the top 10 in their draft order right now, that are actually ranked on fantasypros.com. And I'm going to ask them who is more likely to finish as the QB1. So for the first one, I have Joe Burrow, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. I see Dobbs nodding his head right now. Dobbs, who is more likely to finish as a top 10 quarterback in fantasy this year, Burrow or Stafford?
Well, this year, and you guys know I love my boy Burrow, LSU GOAT. But I think Stafford just has all the tools around him that he needs to succeed, including a great head coach. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Stafford on this one.
Now, does the subtraction of Cam Akers, does that play any value to you on that front? Are they going to have to throw the ball more now that Akers is out of lineup for the entire season?
I feel, to be honest, I feel like they're just gonna rely more on depth in the running back room. This is like someone said it. I forget who it was, but it was true. This is the same team that took literally like a 20-pound overweight. Who is it? CJ Anderson, and made him look like an all-pro rusher for like 6-7 weeks straight. Like I have no doubt that Darrell Henderson can at least give him like 70-80 a game, and you can have like who is it, Dylan?
Don't sleep on Jake Funk.
Come on, so you can have a few different like undrafted. They have a couple undrafted free agents back there. Like they're still going to turn out their yards. It's just not going to be as flashy as Cam. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like you're going to not as many jukes and spins, but they're still going to turn out that run game.
Hunter, if you got a year to train as a running back for the NFL, how many yards could you get in a Sean McVay offense per game? Let's say you get 10 touches, how many yards are you getting? 18?
I don't think I played running back in high school, bro. Me and Dylan ran the backfield together.
Yes, sir.
We did. So, I don't know. Conservative, probably a K.
Oh my God. Okay.
I don't know.
Dylan, Burrow or Stafford? Who's more likely to finish as a QB1?
Just this year, you get in the offense. I don't think McVay is going to abandon like his philosophy, like Dobbs said. They're still going to rely on the running back room and run it. But I just think that offense is going to be so electric. They're going to score a lot of points. So I think you have to go Stafford.
Hunter, who is more likely to finish as the running back one? Clyde Edwards-Helaire or David Montgomery?
Oh, David Montgomery easily. He's a fucking stud. Like I talked to Dylan about this all the time. There was this small time in like the Bears community where people thought David Montgomery was trash. I was like, he's playing behind a horrible line. He's stumbling for 4 yards of fucking carry. Like, how is he bad?
Not to mention he didn't ever get the amount of touches like an RB1 would
not at all.
Up until like last year.
Easily.
Last year he got a lot of touches. I think he had like the most I think he was the most evasive running back in the league aside from Alvin Kamara, technically when it came to evading tackles and stuff like that. I'm going to go, I believe in second-year running backs like heavily, but the problem is Clyde is going to be sharing a backfield still, so I'm going to go with Montgomery as well, who's also going to be sharing a backfield respectfully, but I just think that he gets more opportunities to actually rush. Clyde is going to be more like opportune in the pass game and stuff like that. He is a really good pass catcher and route runner for a running back, but at the end of the day, he still has Kelsey and Hill in that offense. All right, Dobbs, Mike Davis or Myles Gaskin? Who's more likely to finish as the RB1?
You know, I'm gonna go Gaskin here just because.
Let's go. I want to hop in on this after you, Dobbs. I have some shit to say.
As you're gonna find out shortly, I don't even know if I think Mike Davis is the Falcons' running back one at all. So, yeah. So I'll just leave it at that for now, and I'll touch more on this in a little bit.
All right,
Dobbs is fading the quad god.
Can I hop in on this real quick?
I have to fade the quad god. I do.
Because in a PPR format, Myles Gaskin last year, in every single game he played, hit double digits except for 1 week where he scored 9 points. And in PPR too, the lowest amount of catches he saw was 3 or 4, and he was getting like 5 to 6 targets each game. I know Mike Davis is going to be a workhorse, but I just think in PPR, Myles Gaskin's going to get those catches, and I think people are sleeping on him a little bit. Like, I think his value in the 4th round is phenomenal.
Moving on to receivers. These are two guys who I think are perhaps maybe even the two most underrated wide receivers in the entire NFL, especially when you consider the first guy who he's actually had playing quarterback for him. This is DJ Moore and Kenny Golladay. Dobbs, or Hunter, let's go with Hunter. Who is more likely to finish as the wide receiver one here, DJ Moore or Kenny Golladay?
I forgot where Kenny Golladay even went to, bro.
New
Where
York.
is he now?
Giants.
You know what, bro? I honestly think Kenny Golladay is gonna have a good season. And I don't know, bro. Is DJ Moore is still with Carolina, right? These two receivers, I'm like, I don't trust Bradford, bro. Well, no, what, bro? I am gonna go DJ Moore because with Curtis Samuel going to Washington, I think he has to be their guy. So you know what, bro? DJ Moore, because there's more weapons on the Giants to give the ball to.
Got Ingram, Saquon, Sterling Shepard, but I don't know. Carolina's kind of tough with CMC.
I don't see, bro. See, this is my philosophy. I'm actually I sold on CMC. I think he's never gonna have a seasons like he's had before. I think he's gonna start to decline pretty rapidly. To be honest,
I think that's interesting because running backs usually have 5-year windows where they're dominant, unless your name is Adrian Peterson, where you dominate for like 8 years in fantasy. But it's usually like a 5-year window. Like even LT, who's I think is one of the 3 best running backs ever. Like they have 5-year windows in fantasy where they dominate. All right, Dylan, Chase Claypool or Odell Beckham Jr. Perhaps the 2 most annoying players in the league, not named Juju Smith-Schuster.
I'm probably like the wrong person to ask about this because I hate the Steelers and I'm sorry. It's just, they just annoy me so much. Like the TikTok, like, did you see the TikTok that Juju posted the other day?
Bro, I didn't see it because I don't have TikTok or whatever. But like
I thought we were over this. I thought Mike Tomlin told him off, let him know no more TikToks, but they're still out here on the field posting TikToks. It was him, Claypool, and Deontay Johnson. But Chase Claypool is actually good. I wasn't giving him his credit early on last year, and he proved me wrong. So he is very good. This is so bizarre, but I'm riding the OBJ hype train. I just think that he is upside. The second year in Stefanski offense, if you look at what he did with the Vikings, with a guy like OBJ that gets open in space and stuff, if you can get him the ball, he can make some big plays happen. So
right.
I'm buying on OBJ. I know it sounds bizarre, but I am.
All right, bet. All right, well, that concludes my fantasy segment.
All right, so we have 2 quick questions. We're going to go all through these. What rookie back besides Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, and Javonte Williams will have the biggest impact for their team? Dylan?
I'm going with Trey Sermon because he was an absolute monster at OU. He transferred to Ohio State, didn't really get his touches early on in the season, but when he got his touches, a full workload, I don't want to say carried because Justin Fields obviously was a huge part of their success, but when they gave him the ball, he was a beast, making people miss. I think that he fits Shanahan's offense perfectly. There's so many other backs there, so like he's going to share a lot of time, but if things do open up, there are a few injuries, Sermon could dominate those touches. I don't even know what the ceiling is. Like the sky's the limit for him.
Dobbs?
So back to my Mike Davis thing. Javian Hawkins is this year's James Robinson.
That's such a
so
sick
let
name,
it be
bro.
known beforehand. So like I wouldn't even you don't even have to draft him. You'll be able to like unless you do like a 60-round draft, like you'll be able to probably get him like after your draft. Just make sure you stash him away somewhere because after Mike Davis gets injured or even a few weeks, just wait. Javian Hawkins is going to start stealing touches. It's not going to happen right away, but he's going to start stealing. He's going to start stealing touches. And what's going to happen is Javian Hawkins is going to be this year's James Robinson. Hot take of the day. That's the that Falcon sleeper right there.
I'm riding with Trey Sermon as well. Just like how Jimmy G is inevitably going to get hurt by week 4, so is Raheem Mostert, which is unfortunate because he's like the fastest fucking running back I've ever seen. Trey Sermon's a dog, dude. I know we said that, he didn't carry Ohio State because Fields was there, but in that Northwestern game, that motherfucker carried Ohio State, bro. He had like 240 yards, and he was just attacking. And, running backs are typically at their peak. It's really odd now, but they're usually at their peak in their first 3 or 4 years in the league, and that's unless you're Derrick Henry, right? But like that's a different freak of nature. I'm rocking with Trey Sermon. Shanahan, dude.
I am going with Michael Carter because he's gonna have to carry the offense when Zach Wilson's not performing. And also, if you look at their fucking room, bro, like Tevin Coleman's like, eh. Like, I've never been sold on Tevin Coleman. They have Ty Johnson and LaMichael P. Ryan.
They were huge on him, though. They were really big on him. I remember Dylan P. Ryan, bro. Like,
they were big on Ryan Leaf, too, and look what happened. It doesn't matter who's big. You got to perform.
Look, I know that P. Ryan and Carter definitely be like the two head guys getting touches.
You don't think Tevin Coleman's going to be the starter?
Fuck no. Michael Carter's starting. And if he's not,
I really do.
I'll be disappointed.
Zach Wilson needs some direction.
They did like P. Ryan a lot last year. I just have to say that. I have to.
Yeah, but I don't like his name. What players are dead to you in fantasy?
Okay, you framed this. Yeah, you framed this wrong. So essentially,
what do you mean if they wronged you?
Yeah, what player have you had an experience with in the past, whether you've had them like 3 years in a row on your roster or something like that? They've underperformed. They've had weeks where you need them to get 14 and they only get 3.5 or something like that, right? So what players would you fucking, like Hunter essentially framed it as, if you were in the room with this player, would you put a gun to their head?
No, I didn't think of that at all when I said it. I'm just you know what, bro? I'm just gonna fucking take this one because I'm so fucking
you need to air it
out.
out.
Shit, bro. I've talked about him before. I don't have any personal beef with him, but this is a prime fucking example why you don't draft him. Ralph was talking about, we were talking about Joe Mixon earlier, and he says the words, "Oh, this is his year." It's always his fucking year. It's always what everyone says. It's his fucking year. It's never been his fucking year, and it won't be his year this year. Joe Mixon is dead to me. I will not touch him with a 30-foot pole in fantasy. I don't care if I have to leave someone fucking benched. I'm not playing him.
Waiver wire Mixon?
I hope he goes undrafted in all fantasy leagues this year.
Someone's going to take him in the second
round.
The
hatred, Joe Mixon hatred right now. That dude, that was like,
I'm just going to type in LOL as soon as someone drafts him.
If he's sitting in like third, fourth round, I'm snagging. Just no.
Oh, if he's in the third round, you have to take him.
Who's dead to you, Dobbs?
Well, it's funny you mentioned. See, he's a great running back. You know, if I get him on my roster, disclaimer, I'd be ecstatic. But when it comes to fantasy football, this is a week-to-week thing. I need you every week. And Dalvin Cook. But that being said, brother, fantasy, you're dead to me. I can't trust you. Great running back, but week to week, you can't put stock into you like that, especially if it was an auction draft. Shout out Ralph. I couldn't put any stock into him.
You dropping like $25 on him? That's tough.
That's so tough.
$30 on him. Woo.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. Dylan, how about you?
I feel bad for doing this one because he just seems like a great guy. You know, he used to ball out too back in the Andrew Luck days. But T.Y. Hilton, I had him 2 years ago. I drafted him in like the third or fourth round, and he was like hurt damn near half the year. And then even like when he did come back and play, like he was getting like 2 catches a game. And honestly, that might have been the sole reason I didn't win the fantasy football championship that year. So I'm sorry, T.Y. Hilton. It's been an unfortunate turn to your career, but you're dead to me.
T.Y. sold you, bro. 2018 championship. 2019, he sold you.
Yep.
And Ralph, tell us who's your untouchable fantasy player.
You know who's untouchable to me? Who's alive to me? It's actually Joe Mixon, the running back of the Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to thrive in Zach Taylor's hybrid offense this year. A lot of inside zones with a spread out offense of T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd. A lot of threats on the outside. It's going to open up a lot of room for my boy Joe Mixon on the inside. But who's dead to me? It's Odell Beckham Jr. I used to like Odell. I thought he was, a cool cat, in Drake videos, all of that kind of good stuff. Great. Just absolutely drip-alicious on the field. Always has the illest cleats, all that kind of good stuff. Wore the watch or whatever.
The rolling.
The dude just cannot stay on the fucking field, right? And like this is a guy who was supposed to like overtake Julio as the best receiver in the league like 3 or 4 years ago, and it just never happened. And now he's on a team that is literally they have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt on their roster. What the fuck would you do if you had those 2 running backs on your roster? You'd run the goddamn ball. You got Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio up front too, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield's this quarterback. Like, I'm not big on Baker either. So what I would do if I was Kevin Stefanski is I would pound the rock. And that's what they're going to do again this year. They did it last year. They almost won a fucking playoff game in Kansas City doing that. So yeah, I'm going to fade Odell. I'm going to fade Jarvis, who I like even more than Odell because that dude's a dog. Bless him. But yeah, fade Odell every single day of the week this year.
Okay, so our general consensus is don't touch Mixon, and we're gonna go into our one-on-one segment.
General consensus.
First off, is Ralph and Dobbs. So this is Ralph's first one-on-one. You get 60 seconds to debate, and then you get a 30-second rebuttal after Dobbs goes for his minute. So do you want to go first?
Hold up. Let me pull out the timer.
Okay, so the question is, Madden has been releasing their ratings this year. They usually do it this time of year. So they've, announced who's a member of the 99 overall club, all that kind of good stuff. Dobbs and I are frequent Madden players. We have a league with one another. Fun fact, we actually have computer-generated versions of both of these players on our team. But Madden released the rookie quarterback rankings, and Justin Fields was a 74 overall. Zach Wilson is a 75. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Trevor was a 78. And I think Trey Lance was a 75 as well. I'm going to be arguing on behalf of Justin Fields, who's a 74 overall. Dobbs is going to be arguing on behalf of Zach Wilson, who was a 75 overall. Dobbs, I can go first, or you can go first. It's totally up to you.
I'll take it first.
All right. On you, Dobbs.
All right. So my thing is, so for anybody who doesn't know, because I feel like this is kind of something I got to preface. So in Madden for quarterbacks, what drives a rating the two most important things is your awareness and your throw power. Now, Zach Wilson's one aware dude. This dude maneuvers through a pocket like it's a damn, I don't have a good analogy. I can't think one quick enough right now. But he maneuvers through the pocket real nice. And his throw power has got to be like a 95, 96. Dude can sling the ball across the field. Accuracy, solid. It's same thing with Justin Fields. Justin Fields isn't a perfectly accurate quarterback. My argument comes down to the fact that Zach Wilson just has great throw power, great awareness, and he can throw on the run a lot better than Justin Fields can right now. And I know Justin Fields can throw well on the run, but that throw on the run stat too definitely buffs you a lot as a bad quarterback. So with those three the things overall, I'm going to say that's why I feel like Zach Wilson's got to be at least the one overall higher that he is than Justin Fields.
With 5 seconds to spare, Ralph, on you.
All right. Justin Fields isn't only the second best quarterback in this rookie class. He is easily the second best quarterback in this rookie class. He is a picture perfect quarterback when it comes to his size, his body, his speed, his toughness, and his pinpoint accuracy. This guy displayed it all against the best competition in college football last year. Who was Zach Wilson facing? Fucking BYU's opponents. Are you kidding me, dude? He was Justin Fields was the consensus second overall pick the entire fucking year. He was a great backup to Trevor Lawrence if you didn't get the first pick. He was somebody that people were psyched at. I don't understand why he wasn't the second pick. It will never make sense to me. And thank fucking God that he wasn't, because that means he could fall to the Bears, who are smart enough to trade up for him. But he's a guy who is aware. He's one of the best guys when it comes to actually getting past his first read, which was just a complete fallacy that people were trying to pose because they have some kind of diluted sense of their brain that just does not work anymore when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. So Justin Fields should be a 99 overall.
At the buzzer. Impressive.
I was timing myself too, just checking.
I like that. Really?
All right, Dobbs.
All right. So you know what, Ralph, I gotta say it, bro. You're in too deep. You're in too deep on the level of competition that the quarterbacks have faced in college. And Dylan, I know you're with me on this. Look, I'm gonna remind you guys. Pat Mahomes was slinging it against bums. He was slinging it. It was the same shit as Zach Wilson was. You can see. You're like, God damn, this boy can sling a fucking football. It didn't matter who it's against. You see it. You're like, he's slinging it. See, that's the thing is, Justin Fields, he's a great quarterback, but he don't sling it like Zach Wilson slings it. You could lie to yourself and say he does. That's fine. He don't sling it like Zach Wilson can sling it. I'm just
cutting you off.
Sounds really sus, to
Ralph.
be honest. He kept saying it.
This would be so beneficial if I could have video evidence. But here, my rebuttal is coming. You want to talk about slinging it? Let's talk about big, bright stages, bitches. College football playoff, 60-yard bombs on the fucking money. Breadbasket tosses to the end zone over the top of two safeties with two guys trailing behind them. Literally, if you want to talk about slinging it at combines, sure, I can look really good going against no competition. I'll fucking sling it all over the place. I played intramurals too, bro. But when it comes to actually dropping things where they need to be put with defensive pressure coming towards you, Wilson isn't there yet.
That's what you think.
That's what
All right,
I know.
Hunter.
That's what I've seen. That's what I've seen. Mountain West Conference, my ass.
You haven't seen enough.
Hunter,
God.
what are we thinking here? This is such a difficult question to like answer.
I mean, who should have the higher Madden rating, or who do I think the better quarterback is? You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
That's the
like
thing.
Flexion.
But like
it's not the same thing.
I would understand why they have Wilson higher just based off of like some intangibles that like all of the media was like, bro, you know what I mean, right? Like they were like,
don't let the media dictate your opinion.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So that's why I think he could have the higher Madden overall, just because people were gassing up that like pass that he did that looks like Mahomes.
I could be an asshole
like,
and look at this from a horrible view. Like I understand why Zach Wilson is higher, bro.
Same.
I get it 100%. Should he be? The question is who should, not what it is.
I need to see what the speed ratings are too.
That's what I'm thinking of too, bro.
Well, Justin Fields has to be faster than Zach Wilson, honestly. Like he has to. Like Justin Fields.
I don't think so, bro.
If they're doing it off their 40 times, Justin Fields would be like 3-4 speed faster than Zach Wilson, like 100%. Like it's weird because in game Zach Wilson does look quicker.
He does look
to
quick.
Ralph's point. It's to Ralph's point that this is one area you can see it is that Zach Wilson is definitely going against slower players off the edge and the interior D line.
That's true too.
Than Justin Fields was, so it looks like Zach Wilson's a lot faster.
They're not giving me they're not giving me the full ratings. They're just giving me like the overall. They don't. They just have the overall.
Zach Wilson's a much more elusive dude than he is fast. Like he'll break a ton of sacks, but he's not like even super fast. He's just really.
He ran a 4.89 40. He ran a 4.89 40.
Yeah, he's not like fast. He's just really good at like evading pressure.
He does look faster than that though. I will say that. All right.
Justin Fields ran a 4.4.
Justin Fields runs like a 90. He's probably gonna be like a 90 speed, dude. He's gonna be one of like everybody's favorite franchise quarterbacks.
I can see why they would do Wilson, but I am going Justin Fields because I think he is just as strong of an arm, and I think he's faster.
Yeah.
So I think the accuracy alone,
nothing frustrates me more when there's a wide open. That's nothing more frustrating when I see a wide open receiver throw it and then it gets fucking missed. It's the most frustrating, especially on a third down.
Right. People are just overthinking everything like they always do when it comes to the draft. Like Evan Mobley should go before Cade Cunningham type shit. Get the fuck out of my face, bro. This has been the consensus since last October. And if Justin Fields wouldn't have played up to par this season, then sure, I would have understood all the arguments for Lance or Wilson to go ahead of him. But the dude made it to the National Football Championship and lost to Alabama. Okay, and he still balled out against them with broken ribs. Like, get the fuck out of.
I will say, that Alabama team also rivals that LSU team the year before is like that dominant of a team. I think that LSU team was better, but Alabama was seriously that good.
I don't care how much most people don't like it right now. I don't care. I know most people hate me for it. I don't care at all. I've watched every snap of Justin Fields and Zach Wilson, and 100%, if I was the Jets, I would have drafted Zach Wilson 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. Love Justin Fields, but there's been a lot of disrespect on this man's intangibles, and if he hits his ceiling, just know I'm talking big shit. Like if he's out here doing what I think he's gonna do, I can't wait. Like I'm talking big shit. When he's out here 60 yards across the field, flick of a wrist, like, oh shit, Elijah Moore to end zone. That's what I expect. Like,
but that's also why I said I understand why Zach Wilson would have the higher one. Same with Hunter, why he said it too. I think like his intangibles are very good, but I don't know.
Okay, so
all right, Dobbs, you got to get the timer up for this one.
All right, boys. So you guys are gonna be arguing. Most fun team. Who's going to be the most fun team to play with Madden 22? Who's taking it away first here?
I don't know. Dylan usually takes the honors. I like going second.
All right, Dylan, you're taking the honors.
All right, I'll go first.
3, 2, 1. Run.
All right, so my team that I chose to be the most fun in Madden is the Bucs. For the obvious reasons on offense, you have the GOAT, you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, you have AB. There isn't a more fun receiving core to play with in Madden, let alone the high overalls too. And don't even get me started on playoff Lenny and Rojo. That backfield's dynamic, but I actually chose the Bucks for the defensive side, and I know Ralph and Dobbs will appreciate this. They have some guys that are strafe kings on that defense. You got Devin White in the middle of the field. How many user picks are you getting with him? You also have Levante David, absolute beast. If you like to play with the safety too, you got Antoine Winfield, absolute stud. So the strafe kings are there. The offense is there. That's all I have to say.
10 seconds to spare too, Dylan.
I'm going to deduct points for not mentioning the names Shaq Barrett or Vita Vea.
Yeah.
You're getting points deducted.
You can't play with them though, so like, or you can, but
hold on. I'll
real Madden players.
I think you'll like this argument. Don't worry.
All
I
right,
play with Sean Murphy Bunting.
Ready?
Ready? 2,
okay.
1.
I forgot when people play Madden, they play for the defense. And I remember because when I'm on offense, I just can't wait to get on defense. That's my favorite part. So I get what you're saying, Dylan. Now I picked the Titans because think about it. You can pick Derrick Henry and you can run over motherfuckers, or you could toss it up to Julio Jones. Oh, you want to scramble with Ryan Tannehill? Go crazy. Oh, AJ Brown across the field? Bro, you can do anything with this offense. Literally anything. Know what I'm not thinking about with this offense is when I get to go play defense. That's not what I'm thinking about. You don't need defense if you can put up 60 a game with the GOATs on offense.
With 20 seconds spare.
all right, I'm ready for the rebuttal.
All right, Dylan, your 30 seconds starts now.
The defensive side that I added in was just a perk. Obviously, you play with the offense. That's why I named all those players before. But real Madden players appreciate the defense. I love strafing and getting user picks. I know Ralph and Dobbs do. They're Madden Kings too. Yeah, I grip them. So what? But you have the offense and you have the defense. It's the best of both worlds. You ain't playing with anyone on the Titans defense that's like that.
Valid point. And Hunter, whenever you're ready for your 30 seconds, I'll start it.
Give me 2 seconds because I had a great point and I just blanked.
I'll start it when you start talking.
Okay. Fuck. Damn it. Oh, I do remember. All right. So Dylan made a quick point that, you're getting user picks. What are you doing? What are you doing when you get the pick? You turn into offense. You get the ball. That's why it's fun. That's why it's fun, because you get the ball back. No one wants to play defense. It's not fun. And bro, you don't want to run a halfback dive over and over again and piss off your opponent. That's just not fun to you. Bro, they get so sick, they start blitzing, and then you throw one up to Julio Jones, a touchdown. They'll quit on you all the time.
Right on the 30-second mark.
Talk to them.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like a real sicko. But I like playing with a safety in Madden is one of like the few.
It's the best thing.
So I actually have a my player with Derwin James. I'm on like year
oh
like
my
6.
gosh.
It's sickening. I average like 18 picks a year at safety. You can bait people, bait the computer into picks if you play with a corner. It's really easy. You just got to play off the receiver or whatever. But this is tough because I think you're both wrong. I don't think either of these teams are the best team to play with. But if we are only going to pick from these two, I think offensively, obviously, I would rather play with the Titans, like Hunter said. But because I like playing with both sides of the ball so much, I really love playing defense. I truly adore it. I'm going to go with Dylan here just because they're both sides of the ball dominant. Now, obviously, he picked a better roster, so he has an advantage there. But Hunter, I'm also going to deduct points from your argument for starting it with sarcasm, which is something I took theory and practice of argument. And I got an A in it. Shout out to my old teacher. They're like 6-time national champions or something like that for argument classes for speech and debate or whatever.
Wait, who was it?
I can't remember his name. He was like a chubby dude. He was the coolest guy ever. We loved each other. I had a couple of those relationships with professors, but he was the goddamn man. But you never use sarcasm in an argument. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dylan here. Go Bucks.
I like Connor better as a judge. That was a bunch of bullshit. That's all that was. But go ahead, Dobbs.
Connor would agree with me because Connor.
I don't care. I just hated the reasoning.
When me and Connor played
Connor
Madden,
didn't take theory and practice of argument. You just got somebody who's a legitimate referee, and you don't like the fact that I'm not playing favorites here.
Oh my
God.
Okay, so there's one thing. Let me be clear. See, Dylan, you would have had me, but there's one problem. with the Bucks. I mean, with the Bucks. There's one glaring problem with the Buccaneers. When I'm playing Madden, well, at least the way that the game was designed up until this year, if the pressure has been changed, the pressure simulations have been changed this year, there won't be much of a problem anymore. But it kind of feels like you need someone mobile to have fun in Madden. You need someone that you can get outside of the pocket with. I don't have that in Tampa Bay, and I do have that in Tennessee. So with that said, and Hunter's right. There's no better style of Madden than to be able to abuse the run, get people to sell on the man in coverage, and you know it, and then you just throw a streak to someone who's way better in the corner, and you're like, ganger. So with that said, ganger. I got to rock with mobile Tannehill on the Titans.
I respect that.
Mobile T. Mobile Tanny.
Mobile Tanny.
Who's since Connor's not here, who's doing the crazy stat?
I texted Connor and I got a crazy stat for you guys.
Oh shit.
Do not highlight the answer because it'll pop up, Ralph.
No, I didn't even type it in.
Oh, okay.
But in Connor's absence, I will be taking it over. The crazy stat question is, I guess he didn't phrase it as a question, but this quarterback has the highest yards per completions out of every quarterback from 2005 and on. So who is this quarterback?
Wait, Dylan, the beginning part of the question just one more time?
Yards per completion or yards per attempt?
Yards per completion.
Since 2005?
Since 2005.
Okay.
So who is chucking it deep and completing regularly? I'll give you a hint.
Is this on average?
I got my guess already.
And
my guess too.
I'll say it happened in 2006 and it was 14.7 yards per completion.
Actually, hold on. They still play?
No.
Don't give
Oh, yeah, so that would change. Yeah, like that would change everything if they still. All right, so they don't still play. Okay.
Are we saying our guesses out loud?
You can whenever, yeah.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
I'm not saying yet. I'm taking everything in. Dobbs, Hunter.
I'm gonna let Dobbs go first.
Hold on. Let me. I'm checking I'm checking if he was playing and if he was in his prime during this era. Hold on.
Would it be 2005? Fuck.
2006.
It happened in 2006, but since 2005. So yeah, pretty much.
I was gonna say Carson Palmer, but that's so wrong.
That's a good guess.
Very wrong. Yeah. Dobbs is out here doing research. We're going off the top.
No, I'm just checking. I'm
answer.
checking. No, I'm checking if he was in his pro. Hold on, because before I take my guess, I got to make sure I'm not like he's not like.
That's why he got it right last week.
All right, yeah, no, I know who I'm going with.
Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Donovan McNabb. Screw it, dude.
That's what I was thinking.
So, the answer is Donovan McNabb with 14.7 yards per completion.
I swear to God on my life, I swear to God on my life, I didn't look at one statistic. One statistic. The only thing I looked at was his age today. I just had to I had to make sure that he would have been like in his prime.
I need the full search history. I need access to your full search history.
Look, I literally
I'm kidding.
No. Fuck that. I'm so willing to prove it. Literally, this is literally the last 3 searches I have. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm
literally Eagles. Oh shit! An alarm's going off. All right. Eagles. It literally says Eagles quarterbacks, Eagles quarterback legends, and then Randall Cunningham. And then I literally and then after Randall Cunningham, I went to Donovan McNabb, and I was like, because I was like Randall Cunningham too old.
Damn.
And I was
so Dobbs is now. He's gotten two right back-to-back weeks.
I swear to God, I would.
What was the one last week that you got? It was Eli Manning, but what was the thing?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
It was like it was like it's because I did the Eli Manning research the couple weeks before that. I knew it. Like that one was kind of like a gimme.
Oh, it was like over 25 interceptions or something like that twice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I knew because I had done the research for it.
All right. Last thing on this that I wanted to add in, Connor also mentioned that the next closest was Fitzmagic in 2018 with 14.4 with the Bucs.
Oh shit.
So very close also. But
shit.
So that was the craziest stat of the week. Hunter, you want to wrap us up here?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching the RPO show. I hope you guys had a good time. We're going to be back next week. We're going to get everything clipped so you can see every clip separately. Be sure to like Let us know who you think is the most fun team to play with in Madden, and subscribe. It really helps us a lot. Helps us grow our platform. So we appreciate all you guys supporting us and everything like that. So tune in next week. We'll be back.
Y'all ready for this?